Welcome, everybody. Adam Stark here, and today I am doing the impossible task of telling you guys my ranked list in order of my top 30 Kung Fu or Wuxia films. Yes, I'm actually going to do this. Unbelievable. This is not easy to do at all. This is something I've been jokingly saying I'm going to do for years, but I'm finally going to do it here and now. So first of all, just want to say I love these films. These are my favorite genre of films, period, ever. Like, it's absolutely my favorite by far. What I look for in these films, the thing is, technically speaking, the story doesn't matter to me as much nearly at all, so I'm not judging these films the way I judge other films, generally speaking. So, the story can be just lame or lackluster or whatever, even nonsensical. As long as the action is good, that's fine with me. That's what I actually look for. That's what actually matters to me. Here's why I'm telling you that. Because I'm not judging them in the ways I judge other films. But also because this, right? What I look for is, whether it's barehanded or weapons fighting, I look for actual contact between these actors on screen. And keep in mind, when I say actors, they're way much more than that. They're not just actors and actresses. These are not just stuntmen putting their lives on the line for entertainment. These are also kung fu practitioners. These are real martial artists and everything. These are amazing people that I have such a profound love and respect for over the years, which is why I've collected so many of their great works. And my point is this. So what I look for in these movies is contact between them when they're fighting. So it's one thing to have a fight scene. Any country can have a fight scene. But let's be real here, Hong Kong does it best. Hong Kong and Taiwan are incredible, what they have. And I'm going to show you in my list. When they're making contact with each other and they're doing long, unedited, long shots, long takes of incredibly amazing choreography between these people doing these fight scenes in these epic sweeping shots on film, it's just incredible. And that's what I look for. Those are my favorite things. When you see that, or you see stunts that are beyond belief incredible, amazing, dangerous. And more importantly than those even, is that these films, besides a few exceptions, of course, are in the 80s and 70s, and that means that this is before computers, this is before CGI, before chroma key, before AI and all that garbage. This is when these fights, they actually hurt each other. And there's so many stories about people like Jackie Chan losing a tooth when he got his head kicked in by Wang Zhengli. Like, there's so many amazing stories like this. And a lot of times you see it in the footage itself. These brutal fights, these epic fights with these weapons fights with choreography that is insane. These are better than real fights. That's why I love them. Okay, I love real fights too, not in a moral sense, but you know what I mean, in like a sport sense. Okay, like, these are better than real fights because you can take the time to choreograph them, but the problem is a lot of them look fake or they look stupid in the coming era because that's the new thing. It's not filmed like how they used to be filmed. They used to be filmed so well before computers, before wire fu, and even if there was wire fu, there wasn't a tremendous amount of them, at least not in the films that I have on my list. And so it looked real, it looked good, and they made contact with each other, so these fights are good. Like, they work, they look great, they're better than they could have possibly been in reality. And when it comes to realism, the only part of realism that I don't care about, that I'm willing to let go of for the sake of these movies and their fights, of course, is what I'll call their health bar. What I mean by that is, if you hit somebody in the face once or twice with one of these legendary kicks of these great martial artists in these movies, they're going to be unconscious. It's over. They're going to be gone. They're going to be done for. But in these fights, in these movies, and in movies in general, I'm saying, no, fights go on and on and on and on even after that. That's fine with me. I'd rather have a longer fight, of course. So like that I'm willing to let go. That's fine. Okay, the stuff that I can't stand is if the fights look fake, if they look stupid, if they look CGI, if they look just ridiculous, and then it takes me right out of the experience, okay? So like the sword fights, the spear fights, the 3-section staff fights in these movies, are so good because they're actually making contact with each other. And in between the fights, they're doing crazy flips and tricks and stuff. And they memorize so many movements and patterns in one shot of film before it transitions to the next shot that it's like astonishing. Those are the things I look for, and that's what these movies include. Now, I want to say this first. If you've never seen a Kung Fu or Wuxia film, one thing, ignore the titles. Please ignore the darn titles. A lot of titles in these movies have nothing to do with the movie itself, or they sound very generic, and that's okay. That doesn't mean it's a generic movie. So for newcomers, keep that in mind. Don't let that stop you from thinking, oh, well, this is a generic title. It sounds like it could be anything, so it must be stupid. No, you got to look at other things, okay? So that's one thing to keep in mind. And another thing I'm going to say before I start, okay, don't say something stupid to me like, oh, your list doesn't count because it doesn't have such and such. Listen, you guys, ask me. Ask me if I like a movie, and I'll tell you, I'm only doing top 30. 30 was my limit. Beyond that, I would go on forever, so I stopped myself at 30. There are plenty more films that I absolutely love and adore and I own myself, but they're not in my top 30. That doesn't mean I don't like them. That doesn't mean that I think that movie that you love that needs to be on your list that it's not included in mine. It doesn't mean I hate that movie. So don't make dumb assumptions like that. Just ask me. Just simply, hey, Adam Stark, do you like that movie? Because it's not on your list. Just ask me. That's all you got to do. I just say that because I don't know. People get really offended. It's like, well, maybe I do like the movie you're speaking of. So I'm just going to say some honorable mentions before we start. Because like I said, keep in mind, please, you guys, please keep in mind, okay, I love these movies so much, and there's a lot more of these movies that are not on my list that I probably do like, okay? And if I don't like them, oh, well, I don't like them. I mean, we're different people. But some honorable mentions I'll say, these are not on my list, okay? But it doesn't mean I don't own them. It doesn't mean I don't love them, okay? Snake in the Eagle Shadow, 1978. Drunken Master 1, 1978. Secret Rivals 1, Secret Rivals 2. Magnificent Butcher, Invincible Shaolin. Police Story 2, Police Story 3. My Prodigal Son, Tiger Over Wall, Raid Redemption, 36 Chambers of Shaolin, Martial Club, Knockabout, stuff like that. I love those movies. They're just not on my list, but that's not an insult. Okay, I have to limit myself to top 30. So movies like that, if those are one movies that you're like, what? How is that not on your list? Okay, I'm telling you, I still like those movies. Okay, now I'm actually going to do this for the first time. I'm actually doing this in order. Very hard to do. Very, very hard to do. This list can definitely change at any time. That's just how it is when you're so passionate about something. But like I said, these films have changed my life. And so just going to go through them now. Here we go. All right, number 30 on my list. Young Master, 1980. This is Jackie Chan. This is an incredible film. And this film gets better every single time I watch it. What I like about it is Jackie's humor is on full display here. Great humor. It has great cameos. Yuen Biao is in this in a bench fighting scene that's hilarious. Lily Lee is in one fight scene, and it's awesome. It's really good. It really shows her style. Lily Lee's incredibly gifted, talented martial artist, and this is a good use of her. It worked really well. Okay, so it has Jackie Chan's original ideas put into this because this was his directorial debut at Golden Harvest. He does things like when the villain kicks enemies, he's like an escaped convict, and they gives off like horror movie vibes at times. And Jackie Chan had this thing where he had these like ropes wrapped around the actors' waists, and so when the convict would kick them, the villain would kick them, they would like fly backwards like crazy distances and stuff. It was really cool. It's a cool effect. I think it worked. I think it looked good. It looked interesting, and it's fun. It's just a good film, and the comedy is really good. Jackie's fan fight is legendary, and the sword fighting he did is legendary because only a few people in the entire world can have that type of incredible flexibility and what's the other word? I mean, besides talent, but there's another word I'm trying to think of. But only a few people in the world could have that type of like finger strength and wherewithal to do those physical actions with items and film it in one take and not edit to make it look like he did something great. No, you see the whole thing where he like catches a sword with his foot, kicks it, he spins it, he grabs it with his other opposite hand, and then he like flips the sword around this pole, like pretending like he's gonna cut this guy and whatever, and then he scares him, and then he, then he does swing it at him, but he's swinging at him from the wrong side, not the cutting side, on purpose to scare him. Like, I'm describing it, it doesn't work, but you have to see it and you'll be mind blown because it's really well done. It's hilarious and it's talented. And the end fight scene is one of Jackie Chan's longest fight scenes, period. It actually might be his longest fight scene, period. I'm not sure. But anyways, incredible film. Okay, number 29, Five Super Fighters, 1979. This is a great film. The story is little to nothing in this film. It doesn't really matter. There's a few films like that on my list where the story just does not matter. This is one of those films. This film, it's just fight scenes, training scenes, fight scenes, training scenes, and that's it. And that's great because they're all great. There is 2 or 3 training moments that I admit are a little bit lame, a little bit careless, but that aside, don't let that stop you. This is an amazing film. Some films are like that, you guys. They don't care about the story. They don't take the story serious. It doesn't matter to them. It's about everything else. And this film does that great. Okay, you get a great sword versus stick fight that sounds stupid until you see it, and you see backflips done with a stick used as a stilt, grabbing the sword, twisting the sword, releasing the sword, throwing the sword. And it's like, describing that with words doesn't work. You have to see what I'm saying to see how great this movie is. And then the end fight scene it's an amazing compact fight. There's 5 people fighting, but only one of them's the bad guy. And 3 of them are like bouncing off of each other, like catapulting each other, like throwing each other as if they're like magnets or something. Like, it's crazy. Very talented, very long shot takes, and it's great performances by everybody. All right, number 28, Duel of the Seven Tigers, 1979. Listen, people, it's really hard not to put Philip Koh's other masterpiece on here, Tiger Over Wall. Very hard. I was really debating myself which to put in this spot in the list. I love Philip Koh. He's incredible, incredibly talented, legendary martial artist, kung fu practitioner, and actor. And it's hard for me to pick Tiger Over Wall or Duel of the Seven Tigers, which is the better film of his. Really hard. But because I put it on here, I think I'm going to go with this, obviously, because, But Duel of the Seven Tigers, 1979, this movie has a lot going for it. The story's really good here, okay? The story is that there is a man who knows karate, Philip Koh, doing a villain role, and he is killing everybody with his karate. And he's saying, I hate kung fu, so I'm here to challenge all of you. And he challenges all of them, and he ruthlessly kills them and stuff. So they're getting slaughtered. So what they end up doing is they go town to town, area to area. They recruit more people that are masters of their kung fu styles, and they have a total of 8 people, but one of them is the old man who's using his daughter as one of the 7, okay? Anyways, here's where this film shines. You get 7 different styles of kung fu plus karate. You get training scenes of all 7 types of kung fu. And then you get an epic fight against Philip Koh's karate. All 7 of the styles go against him. It's an amazing fight scene. It's really good. It's fantastic. It has everything, okay? It has Wing Chun. It has monkey style. It has everything. And then they all lose. So then they train all 7 of their styles to another fighter, Cliff Locke. That's the person's name, the real actor's name, not the character in the movie. But they teach him all 7 styles, and then he has to use all 7 styles to get revenge, and he fights Philip Koh on the cliffs. They're on cliffs, fighting on cliffs, you guys, by rocks and waterfalls and stuff, and he's using 7 different styles of kung fu. It's incredible. You have to see this. It's really great. It's a fun film. It's well done, and on top of that, as a bonus, like I said, it's in micro increments, yes, but you get 7 plus karate, so I'll say 8 different styles of fighting in this movie, and that's just awesome. Okay, number 27, Soul of the Sword, 1978. Okay, it's a shame I don't have more T Lung films on my list. I do have some more on my list, but T Lung is incredible. Don't get me wrong; he's one of my favorite actors. He is amazing, legendary, incredible actor. Okay, but anyways, Soul of the Sword, 1978. In my opinion, this is T Lung's best performance. Now, not to be confused with his best movie. I don't think it's his best movie. I think it's his best performance, though. Okay, this movie, it has a dark story. He's a kid. T Lung's a kid. He sees this guy, and I'm bad with character names. I'm not going to remember him in this list, but that's not the point. He sees this villain in a duel kill this guy, and then this guy's wife kills herself because her husband lost in the duel. It's really tragic. T Lung wants to spend his whole life training at sword fighting so he can kill the best swordsman. Okay, that's the point. He wants to do that. So this movie is it's crazy because it's a lot of sword fights, but it also throws in some random non-sword like kung fu fights with T Lung in it. Lee Hoi Sang has a nice cameo fight in it, and it's awesome. It just has really great sword fighting scenes, choreography, incredible work of like 7-on-1 fights. And T Lung, in my opinion, this is his best physical like performance. Like I really do think that. Like I'm not saying it's his best movie because it's not T Lung's best movie, but it's just him isolating him in this movie. This is his best work. I think he put everything into this movie. Like he deserves an Oscar. Seriously, he was so good. Okay, and then the end fight is in the rain on a bridge and stuff in the water. Oh, it's so good. Okay. All right. Number 26, New Shaolin Boxers, 1976. Okay, this is an incredible film. This is Alexander Fusheng, rest in peace, legendary. And it has Wang Lung Wei, and it has Beardy. Okay, now listen, folks. This movie is the most, what's the word? It is the most, like, what's the word? Outlier, original, I'll say, of Chang Che's films. It's actually shocking to me that this is a Chang Che film. It doesn't feel like a Chang Che film. And Chang Che is one of my favorite directors. He might be my favorite director of all time. But now this is nowhere near Chang Che's best film. No, that's not what I'm saying. But this is a really good film, and it doesn't remind me of his other films. It's like he filmed this saying, I'm going to film this differently than every other film. That's how I feel about it. So Alexander Fusheng he's a martial artist, and he's trying to do the right thing, but nobody cares. He's fighting the gang that is becoming a cancer to the city. Nobody cares because they know if he fights the gang, it puts the rest of them at risk if they support him, because then the gang's going to go after them too. So his good efforts go nowhere. They fall on deaf ears. But all these fights are really good. Like, I'm shocked that they're as good as they are. They're really good. I mean, Alexander Fusheng, he always loves to make a mess on the sets of his fight scenes on Shaw Brothers Studios. He makes a mess. He breaks stuff. He breaks tables, bottles, chairs, windows, mirrors, hammers, broomsticks, everything. He breaks everything on set, and it's awesome. But these fight scenes, they really go on. They're long fights. They're great fights. And it's just great. They really do a good job of showcasing his talent, and he kills it in every sense of the word. He kills it in this role. The fights are great. The training is great too, and the end fight scene is great. There's really no complaints about this movie. Every fight just gets better and better, and it's like I don't know how to explain it. The shocking sense of when you have several armed men against one, how can you make it look like it's possible that the one man can win? But they really pull it off here. It really looks like, wow, like it could happen. And like I said, it's this film it's almost like Hollywood wrote it, but Chang Che filmed it, if that makes sense. It's not like Chang Che's other films. It really has a story with a meaning to it, and the meaning doesn't get lost, not lost in a bad way, because I love his films, but lost in like the sense of the massive scope of over-the-top violence and tragedy and large-scale like bloodshed. Whereas this movie is like there really are interactions with a lot of people, and Alexander Fusheng's trying to make a difference, but it goes nowhere. Nobody sees that. Nobody cares about that. He just makes both sides, the good and the bad, hate him, because when he beats up the gang, then the good people want him to leave, because then they're bringing trouble back to them, and it's like a never-ending cycle. And so it has this tone I can't really describe, but it's really well done. You need to see this if you haven't. It is an excellent film. It's incredible. All right. Number 25, Monkey Kung Fu, 1979, or Stroke of Death, 1979. Ignore both titles. Both titles really don't make much sense to this film. Now, I'm going to say something very strange that's going to shock a lot of you. For a movie that's number 25 on my list, I'm going to tell you something. Listen, technically speaking, depending on what you're looking for in movies, this could be number one. That's right. This could be the number one film. Why do I say that? Well, because this, just like Five Super Fighters, came out the same year, same director, same actors. This movie does what that movie does, but it does it even better. This movie, listen to me, people, this movie's action to non-action ratio is like 80%. This movie barely has a story. This movie barely has any dialogue. This movie is nonstop fight after fight after fight after fight, training scene, fight. It's insane how little time there is between each fights, that I think I could understand somebody seeing this and this could be their favorite. If you're somebody who doesn't care, period, about the story or about any dialogue at all, because I know there are fans like that. You're just like, I don't care at all. I just want to see the action scenes. I say action because to me, action is fights, stunts, or training, or chases. Like any of those four things are like action, right? So that's this movie. I think on this entire list, I think this movie, Monkey Kung Fu or Stroke of Death, 1979, has like the most action ratio compared to non-action. I think, seriously, maybe in action film history, it's that much. It's kind of insane. And that's what it is. All these fights are great, and they're very unique, because this team is incredible. You saw them in Five Super Fighters earlier on my list. They're just as good here and better. They're really good at what they do. They make anything into a weapon. They have these insane acrobatic, flexible movements that are just inhuman, where they can flip, rotate, spin, turn, twirl, tumble, and like in one take they can do things. Like at one point they're chained to each other because they escape from prison. See, I'm not even talking about the story because it doesn't matter, but like they're chained to each other, and they're using the chain as a weapon against this guy who's like a blacksmith, and they're trying to get him to swing the hammer so that it happens to hit their chain so they can break the chain and get out and whatever. Very unique. Every fight's unique, amazing, crazy, good, and very original. Every one of these fights are so original. They really stick out and stuff. It's really crazy. So that's why this movie is amazing. This could be somebody's number one, depending on how you rank films. Okay, continuing here. Fist of Legend, 1994. This is Jet Li's best movie to me by far. There isn't even a debate. I don't think there's even a close debate. So Fist of Legend, this has incredible... It's Jet Li's standout best performance. Nothing compares, honestly. He has incredible, 1-on-10 fight scenes. He has incredible 1-on-1 intense fight scenes. Chin Soo-ho gives an excellent fight in this. And Yusuke Kurata has a very great original fight in this where they Jet Li bludgeons Yusuke Kurata's eye. So then he puts on a blindfold, and then Jet Li puts on a blindfold, so they fight with blindfolds. Now, yes, it's a movie, and they choreographed it. I understand that. But when you see it in the bursts of the fight that they do film, you're like, well, yeah, they have blindfolds on, but they still had to choreograph it. It's like crazy. Like, how do you trust the other person who's a martial arts expert in real life who could render you unconscious if you don't move right. Like, it's crazy. And then, of course, Billy Chow's best performance, obviously. That final fight is a legendary final fight that I hope you've seen. If you haven't seen, I don't know what you're doing with your life. But there's also a great, like, fight scene where the Japanese all attack the village or whatever, and then it's just an all-out brawl. There's like 50 actors and stunt people on screen at once and stuff. All right, excellent. Number 23, The Treasure Hunters, 1981. Lau Kar-wing directed. Wen Lung-wei is the villain. Wilson Tong is in this for one scene, an amazing sequence. Angela Mao is in this, and obviously Gordon Liu, and Alexander Fusheng and his brother. So what makes this movie stick out? It's a comedy. It looks like the most fun. Alexander Fusheng, rest in peace again. The most fun he's ever had in a film. He's smiling the whole time. He's just an amazing actor. He's such a character, such great charisma, such a goofball and everything. And but what really puts this movie on my list is it has a couple of fight scenes that are so unbelievable, indescribable, that words just won't work. You have to watch it to see what I mean. There's monks, Shaolin monks, using Shaolin monks as weapons. In other words, there's like 5 of them, and 4 of them are holding one of them and throwing that one of them as like a weapon. Like, I can't describe. You have to see it. It looks like something out of like the circus at times. You'll have monks standing on the shoulders of other monks and hitting each other while trying to balance each other. And it's like, that sounds insane, but when you see it and you see how it's filmed, long, unedited, uncut, unfiltered, long takes in one shot, you'll see why this is a great must-see film. Because if they just did it, ditzy, crappy editing like they would today in Hollywood, then this movie would be a joke. But that this was in 1981. This was done by the right people at the right time. So you have to see it. It's incredible. And it's also really funny. All right. Number 22, Magic Blade, 1976. This is obviously T-Lung Lo-Lei. This has a massive list of other people, but I don't need to name them all. There's too many to name. This is a who's who of Kung Fu films. There's so many people playing background characters that die in, they have 5 seconds of footage or whatever. But this is a very dark wuxia film, and I saw wuxia films before this I did not like. This was the one that brought me into the genre, that made me go, okay, now I love this stuff. Now I need to see this stuff. And I have the sequel, Pursuit of Vengeance, and that's really good too. I love these films. This one is the best one to me personally, my personal opinion. The Magic Blade is a fun weapon. It's a spinning sword that's just really cool. It makes a epic sound effect, but it's a cool motion, and that choreography has to be hard to spin a sword, but also use that to block at the same time and stuff. That can't be easy in a real fight. Now, this isn't a real fight, I know, but to choreograph it, you have to you'd have to really master that thing. I mean, you know what I mean? To use it even in a sequence like this. But these fights are really good. They're really creative. They're really dark. There's a lot of really dark moments in this that I really appreciate, that I didn't know that these movies were capable of doing at the time. I hadn't seen a dark film like this until this, and I was like, wow, okay, this actually works really well, surprisingly, because when you're used to seeing uptone, uppity beat kind of films with the only dark thing is the revenge moment or whatever, this was okay, this was a shocking thing to see. And Lo-Lei is incredible, and there's a great scene with the peacock darts, the weapon. When he uses it, it's like a magic canyon, basically, that shoots out everywhere, and it sets all of the actors in the actors. It shoots all of the enemies on fire, and it because this was done in 1976, they actually set their actors on fire, which is crazy, but it's really cool looking on footage. Now, obviously, I'm sure they had pyrotechnics and safety equipment, and they had to wear some special thing underneath their outfits and stuff. I'm not stupid, but you got to admit, it looks cool. It looks crazy. It looks really cool. Walls break down and stuff when they use it. It's like a video game. It's kind of crazy, man. Magic Blade, incredible film. Okay, number 21, Warriors 2, 1978. By the way, 1978, 1979, those are the best years for Kung Fu and Wuxia films. And because of that, that means action films by far. Anyways, so Warriors 2, 1978. This is Sammo Hung, Casanova Wong. This was incredible. This movie, similar to what I was describing earlier with Five Super Fighters and Monkey Kung Fu slash Deadly Stroke. This film, Warriors 2, has very little plot, very little dialogue, very little room to breathe, just lots of fight scenes with little time in between. The fights are all fantastic. The training is fantastic. And Beardy, probably my favorite Beardy performance ever. Really fantastic. It's got lessons in it. The comedy is goofy, but I don't care. But the lessons in it are great. The Wing Chun in it is fantastic. And the training in this is really good. It's some of my favorite training in film, period. I really like the training in this. And I don't care if it's not, the training isn't realistic or whatever. The point is this, like, they made it look interesting. They kept my attention. It didn't delve into stupidity in the training, and it didn't go so far to make me go, okay, now you guys are doing too much. Like, they did it just right. And that's what I like about it. And every fight is epic. Sammo Hung gives a legendary performance here. There's Sammo Hung dodging a spear attack. There's the sword fighting. There's the high kicking. And then there's Li Hoi Sang as the iron character. And there's an excellent fight with Lau Kar Wing earlier in the film as the bodyguard of the mayor. And so it's so many things happen in this film at a brisk breakneck pace. And this is a really well done film. Everybody should see it. All right, number 20, Incredible Kung Fu Mission, 1979. This also goes by Kung Fu Commandos. Anyways, I feel bad that this is the only John Liu film on my list because John Liu is an incredible actor. He is amazing. Same with Robert Tai, who's the villain in this. I feel bad that they're not in more movies on my list, but that's because it is what it is. It's hard to make a list like this because you're emotionally attached when you love these movies and you love these people and their works are just beyond anything else. Anyways, this is my favorite John Liu film. This movie is so good. I'm amazed it never gets recommended anywhere. Okay, The Incredible Kung Fu Mission, okay? It goes like this. John Liu, who is an incredible kung fu fighter, he has to go on this mission. He needs help. He finds people. He needs to train them to toughen them up and get them ready to fight. Okay, so there's training scenes, there's fight scenes, and the fight scenes are original. They're fun. John Liu does his incredible kicking. He does his legendary jumping kicks that are just inhuman. He does his technique where he kicks at like 45 degrees in the air, and he does the thing where his leg is straight in the air over his head, and he's holding his leg up, basically laughing at his opponent like, you can't do this. You're not that flexible. And it's just really good. Robert Tai Chi, incredible villain. He is the incredible villain, the white-haired villain. He wears a cape, and you might laugh and think, okay, that's kind of silly, like they're making it so obvious and crazy, the villain, until you see in the fight scenes he actually uses the cape as a weapon. And I was really impressed by it. Like, it was, he holds it up, and he basically dares you to try to attack him. And every time they do, he's ready, and he grabs them and then just demolishes them, breaks their arm and punches them in the ribs. And it's so good. He was a fantastic villain. The soundtrack is good, and some of the deaths in this were really sad. I'm not going to say the one, but I'll give you a hint. The tree. That one really, I wanted this guy to survive and make it to the final fight scene. I was like, no way did this guy die. Like, I actually was affected, man. I was like, come on, no. And then, of course, the one character who is a scaredy cat who avoids fighting at all times. It's comical. It's great comic relief for the film, his character. It was really well done. He avoids fighting and stuff. But then he finally gets brave at the end of the movie, and it doesn't work. But it was a great moment to see him overcome that. And then I'll just say this. you get a surprise fight out of nowhere that you didn't expect, and it's possibly even better than every other fight I just said. I'll leave it at that. Great movie. Okay. Number 19, Marco Polo, 1975. Also went by the title Four Assassins, 1975. Okay, this film, listen up. This film, nobody agrees with me for some reason, and that's okay. I'm just speaking my opinion at the end of the day. Most people say, yeah, it's okay. They don't love this film, but they don't hate it. Weird. Nobody hates this film, but they just think it's okay. I completely, ironically disagree. I think this is an amazing film. I think this belongs where it is, in the top 20 films of all time of mine, okay? This movie, okay, it takes two real people, and then everything else about it is completely fake. And that's fine. I don't care. I don't care about that at all. You're allowed to do that. That's what creative writing is. You're allowed to make things up for the sake of entertainment because you weren't there when it happened. Who cares? So what they did, though, it starts out with a really cool tournament, really epic tournament. This is Chang Che's artistry at its best when it comes to like the set design and stuff. Like his team and them really went all out and made this epic, battleground for a tournament. They're all fighting each other to try and see who's the best fighters in Mongolia. And Beardy gives a epic standout performance in this that I love so much. He has this crazy finishing move that he does. It's almost like a video game. Every time he uses it, it's like when you're doing a fighting game and in an anime, and then like you charge it up and then you press it and then it shows a quick cutscene before the finishing move. That's basically what Beardy's character does. Really ahead of its time. Really amazing choreography, great fights. You get Wang Lung Wei in a fight scene. He's using wrestling moves. It's really, I don't think I've ever seen, and of course somebody's going to find something, I know, but I don't think I've ever seen somebody use like wrestling moves. Like I'm talking about arm bars and full Nelsons, half Nelsons, and reversals and stuff like that. Like I've never seen that in a Shaw Brothers fight scene. And Wang Lung Wei does it, and it's so fun to watch because in between that they're still doing backflips and crazy stuff. But the point is, it's different choreography. This movie has different types of fighting that you don't see in these other films, and it's awesome. It's well done. Gordon Liu, in a strange role for him, not in a bad way, but strange role for him. He's a dual-wielding swordsman. He has two swords, so there's a great two-sword versus one-sword fight scene that Gordon Liu has with Beardy, and then there's the fight with the pugilists, and then the training comes in. The training is good. I'm not going to lie, it's not great, but it is good. I do like it, especially Guok Choi's training. Philip Guok, a.k.a. Guok Choi, real name Guok Choi. Okay, and then, of course, the final fight scenes are epic. Guok Choi does as usual, his inhuman acrobatic movements that he does, his insane easy backflips. He doesn't take a second to warm up or bounce or whatever. He just does a backflip on command. He's that incredible with it, and he's doing the lightweight style against Wang Lung Wei. It's really fun to see. Epic choreography, long sweeping shots. And then, of course, Alexander Fusheng comes in, does his fight scenes. And then the one that steals it for me, though, is the man with the incredible strength. He is being surrounded by all of these soldiers, and they storm into this battleground, and he uses this strength. He rips a brick out of the wall, and he's using the brick itself as a weapon to just bash these soldiers in. But it's not done in a corny way. Like, you have to see how it's filmed, because if I describe that, it might sound corny, because you're used to how films would film that today. But if you were to, you have to see this, 1975, you guys, how it was filmed, how epic this action was. You have to see it. And then, of course, on top of all that, you guys, it has the biggest set destruction I have ever personally seen in a Shaw Brothers film. An entire building comes down and collapses in this film, and with actors under it and stuff. It's so good. It's so epic. It blew my mind when I saw it. I said, no way. I go, Shaw Brothers always has stuff breaking. They're constantly breaking doors, windows, walls, and signs and tables and chairs. But this was a whole building, you guys. You have to see this. It's incredible. It actually really does remind me of Samson's tragic death in Judges in the Bible. It really does. And I don't know if that's a coincidence or not, but there was two pillars, and that's what he did. And you have to see it, though. Incredible stuff. I completely disagree with people that say, oh, it's not that good. No. This film is amazing. The story is the problem in the sense of the Marco Polo character is really nothing special. And it's not the actor's fault. Okay, Richard Harrison's a great actor. It's not his fault. They just use him in a weird way. That's why the other title, Four Assassins, makes more sense. Okay, number 18, The Victim. The Victim, 1980. This has Beardy, Sammo Hung directing. Wilson Tong is in it. This is an incredible film. So Sammo Hung starts out here, right? And his character is effortlessly beating everybody in fights. Nobody is even close to him. He's just smoking everybody. He even does a backflip. Sammo Hung does a backflip. It's really cool. He has an amazing weapons fight. He uses the 3-section staff in a fight, and it's an amazing fight scene. It's like mind-blowing how good it is. Like, Sammo Hung's choreography is crazy, right? Then the script flips, and then he meets Beardy's character. Now, Beardy beats Sammo effortlessly. Every chance Sammo Hung tries to fight Beardy, it's not working. Beardy's winning every fight, and it's doing the opposite of what I just said. And I like that. I like how it changed. And then the story is really good, too. But the point of this film is this. It's debatably Beardy's best performance. In fact, from most people that I talk to, they would say this is Beardy's best film. I'm on the fence. It could be, though. I'm not going to say no. There is a great fight with Beardy using the sword and stuff. And there's also an amazing part when Beardy has to fight like 10 or 12 men that have axes, and he has to just punch the crap out of all of them. And then he has this epic one-on-one fight with Wilson Tong, and it's an incredible fight that everybody remembers and stuff. And then, of course, the final fight. It's hard to pick your favorite fight scene in this. And then he has funny fights with Sammo Hung. So it has everything in this. It really is one of those one-stop films that just does everything. Really incredible film. If you haven't seen it, you got to see it. Coming up next here is number 17, Mad Monkey Kung Fu, 1979. So this movie here is incredible. It's a masterpiece. It's Chow Ho, Lo Lei, Kara Hui, and Lau Kar Lung. Lau Kar Lung directed as well. And this is Chow Ho's master stroke. This is his best performance. Nothing else even comes close. So, of all of the monkey fighting movies that have ever been done ever in film, Monkey Fists, Floating Snake, Monkey Kung Fu / Stroke of Death, like I said earlier, Mad Monkey Kung Fu, this one, and Knockabout, like Duel of the Seven Tigers, Monkey and the Snake Shadow, like all these other movies. Okay, you see, this is number one for the monkey style. This is the definitive, if that's what you're looking for, this is the number one by far monkey style movie ever made. Period. Nothing even comes close. It smokes them out of the water completely. Okay, so this movie is an incredible film. Okay, the Lau Kar Lung, Xiao Ho, it's so good together. It's insane. It is incredible. This movie might have the record of most backflips I've ever seen in a film. It might have the record. There's so many backflips. It's staggering. These fight scenes are so good. They're beyond words, beyond belief. The acrobatics, the flexibility, the painful, just watching them do the monkey style looks like it would hurt your back so bad. It's like crazy. But they use them in fights. The fights are great. The training scenes are really great. They're excellent. They're brutal. They make you hurt just watching them. And then, of course, the fights, they just get better every single time. They have funny fights, but funny in a good way where the choreography is so good. That's why it's funny. And then, of course, they have revenge fights, serious fights, crazy fights. You have fights when Chow Ho does like 50 backflips in a row and swords are swinging at him. They have this part where they trap him in these ropes and stuff, and Lau Kar Lung frees him out, and then they tumble around all these enemies and beat them up and smack them, and and it's just epic stuff. It's mind-blowing stuff. It's so good. It's deserves to be on everybody's list, that's for sure. Number 16, The Avenging Eagle, 1978. T. Lung, Alexander Fusheng, Wang Lengwei, Ku Feng, everybody is in this movie. This is a Wuxia masterpiece. This is a must-see film. This film, I believe, had the biggest Shaw Brothers budget they've ever had, or at least one of them, and they really used it well. The outdoor fights, the outdoor shots are amazing. The fights, the epic music in it, the story in this is actually an A+. It actually is a great story. It's worth your time. It's not just for the fights. The story is great. And the outdoor fight is really fun. The Alexander Fusheng's weapons are so unique. His sleeve blades are really fun. And then, of course, the 3-section staff that T. Lung uses is great. And the enemies outsmart him at one point by fighting him in the trees, and then the staff hits the tree, and then they have a chance to attack T. Lung's character. And it's all just great stuff. And then Ku Feng as the powerful villain. And of course, as they've done many times before, they have the epic 2-on-1 fights. And this is one of those movies at the end. And it has intensity not just because of the choreography and the fight itself, but because of the story involved with it. So it matches in more than one way. It's not just great because it's great fights. It's great in the sense of the story too and everything. It really comes together well, and they play it well. And then there's other unique fight scenes, like there's a fight at a hotel, but it's done in stealth because they're dressed up. They don't want the enemies to know that they're there, so they're pretending to be hotel workers and stuff. You have to see it, though, to see why it's brilliant. Like, I don't want to spoil it too much, but it's a masterpiece. It's a masterstroke. It has everything. It's a really fantastic film. It's sad, it's tragic, but it's cool, and it has everything. It's just dark, but it's a lot of fun. Okay, number 15, Heroes of the East, 1978. Also went by the title Challenge of the Ninja. This movie has my personal favorite story of all time in Kung Fu films and Wuxia films. This story is a 10 out of 10. If this movie had all 10 out of 10 fight scenes, this would be my number one film. Okay, I want to make that clear. Every fight scene is great. They're all like 8.5, 9.5 fight scenes, and 2 of them are 10 out of 10 fight scenes. If all of them were 10 out of 10 fight scenes, this would be number one film, 100%. So it starts out as a romantic comedy. It's almost like Mel Brooks made this movie. That's how crazy it is. It has a culture clash. Gordon Liu, he gets in an arranged marriage with a woman of another culture. They have culture clashes. So she's Japanese, he's Chinese, obviously. They have culture clashes. It starts out as innocent fun. Then it gets more serious. Then it gets despicable and kind of off-putting how serious their hatred towards each other's cultures are. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, the movie completely does a tone shift, and there's no more comedy at all. The comedy is done. Now it's a very serious film, and I love that tone shift. I actually like it when movies do that. This movie does that excellently. So then what you get is he's going to prove himself, again, that he is, in his world, in his mind, better than the Japanese are. So he fights them once a day and in their respective style to prove that he's better. And every fight is great, like I said, but 2 of them really stand out. The nunchuck versus the 3-section staff fight is an incredible 10 out of 10 standout fight. It's so good. It's unbelievably good. Gordon Liu spins it on his back like 5 times in a row. It's like doing it 1 time in a row while walking toward your opponent has to be difficult. How do you do it like 5 times? It's like insane, right? And the nunchuck actor was so good. He's so fast. It's like, how do you do that so fast and not mess up and stuff? So it's such a good fight. And like I said, what makes these different than today's lame fights and a lot of movies' lame fights is they're making contact with each other. The 3-section staff is hitting the nunchuck and stuff. Like, they're actually making contact in these fights. So that's what makes them look good. That's what makes them better than real fights, is because like you actually see stuff happening. And that's what I appreciate about it. Like they were that dedicated to their craft, getting injured in the process and everything to make it look this epic, this beyond belief epic. But in this age, before computers, before CGI and all that garbage. Okay, and then the last fight scene is one of the best finales, period, 10 out of 10 fight. Outdoor fight scene, for one, in Shaw Brothers. Outdoor fight scene, okay, and it has Yusuke Kurata doing his ninjutsu, showing all different types of ninjutsu. He does the Japanese crab technique, a unique fighting style, really well done with backflips and everything, and unique movements. And then, of course, he has the ninjutsu weapons. He uses illusions, like he sets up this like trap field and all these haystacks and stuff. It has everything. This has everything in this movie and in this end fight scene. It's just such an epic thing that you must see if you haven't seen this. Okay, number 14, The Raid 2 from 2014. One of the few movies that are after the 70s and 80s. So The Raid 2, and I do love The Raid Redemption, so don't get me wrong. It's not an insult to that movie, because I know some people, they just, I don't know, people assume dumb things for some reason. Oh, that means you hate the first movie? No, I don't hate the first movie. I love the first movie. I just prefer this one. This is as if they had high-definition cameras in the year 2014, but they brought it back into 1978, basically. These fights are so good, they're remarkable, they're just beyond words. They're visceral, they're brutal, but the editing and the way that they shoot these films, Gareth Evans, the way he is able to like come up with these cool concepts of filming action, the way he does, the unique way he does, like when someone jumps through a window, he will be sitting on the other side of the window with the camera and then show him falling upside down and then turn the camera upside right as he's standing up. And things like that, it's hard to explain. You have to just see it to see what I mean. And then everybody just puts on a groundbreaking performance. It's hard to pick a favorite fight in this movie because they're all really good. And there's epic large fights like the prison outbreak fight. They're all brutal. There's a lot of nasty, brutal deaths. There's weapon fights in this that look so real. It's like, how did they film that kind of stuff? This is what you wish modern day fights would look like. This is one that actually does it and does it right. That's what this is. Okay. Number 13, The Matrix, 1999. So, some people might say this is not a kung fu film. I totally understand that, and I respect your opinion, so don't get me wrong. I do count it as a kung fu film. If I think about it hard enough, I do. And actually, this is my first kung fu film I've ever seen, if it's a kung fu film. But this is the first one I've ever seen in my life. These fights, when I saw this as a kid, I wasn't even old enough to see this movie. I wasn't supposed to. But I had to connect, and it is what it is. These fights blew my mind. I couldn't believe that there was fights like this in the world. Like, I didn't know there was a whole genre before this that excelled and did this kind of stuff. I didn't know this was a thing, is my point. Seeing this really expanded my mind and made me go, okay, movies need to get on this level. Now, I didn't know movies were already on this level for decades. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, this was that good. But the story is actually a 10 out of 10 as well for me. It's very deep. It's very layered. It's very heavy. There's a lot of theories, fan theories, my own theories that I disagree with other people's theories, and that's what makes it fun, is when you have complicated, complex films like this, you get to like it outside of the action, and I do. And that's what makes this one a standout in this list. Now, of course, it's like I'm not going to put it any higher than this because that would just feel wrong. But this is a great kung fu film for the kung fu elements in it, and that's why I'm putting it here. But it's a great film outside of that as well. This is just a 10 out of 10 must-see film. It is that good. And the gunfights in it are excellent as well. The gunfights are awesome. And the slow motion use in this was really fun. And the inventive, brand new filming techniques like rigging the 360-degree camera set on the fight on the rooftop with the agent. So good. The agent that was fighting him and shooting at him, and then they wire it and everything. It's so good. It's awesome. But the helicopter explosion. There's so many things about this film. It's just great, even outside of the kung fu elements. But don't get me wrong, I do love this film very much. It's a childhood beloved film, and I still love it today. It holds up well today. In 4K, it looks amazing, you know. Okay, number 12, Project A, 1983. Jackie Chan directed. Jackie Chan, Yuen Biao, Sammo Hung, Dick Wei, villain role. This is my favorite Dick Wei villain role, performance, Dick Wei performance on screen, very good. But this is the ultimate movie of Jackie Chan stunts. Jackie Chan, there's a fight scene when they're going in the gang's hideout, and everybody gets mercilessly hurt. People fall off of ledges of buildings, hitting the chandelier on their way down to the ground, and you see them land on the ground in one shot, wincing in pain. So you know it's not a dummy. No, there's an actual actor that got hurt. There's Jackie Chan gets kicked down a flight of stairs, and his jaw is like bouncing on each stair on the way down. And it's like, ow, when you watch it, you go, dude, this looks so painful. Like, how did they film this? Like, it's like, how did they do this with all these people getting brutally hurt? Like, it's really, but as a film, because of that element of this 1983, it's amazing. Okay, then the stunts itself, Jackie Chan falling off of the clock tower 3 times, and they film it 3 times, and I know more than one actor did that fall, but I'm just saying, to see any actor do it is the point, is incredible. With just those umbrellas breaking the fall, that's it. No safety net, no mattress at the bottom or anything, just umbrellas is insane. Jackie Chan using the bike as a weapon, so creative. Nobody else could have done it. He just does the impossible and makes things like that happen. And then you think you've seen the best parts of the film, right? And then it gets to the end finale in the caves or whatever, and then Dick Wei fights with a sword, and he is mercilessly beating the crap out of everybody. And then Sammo Hung does a drop kick on Dick Wei's back, and Dick Wei's not wearing a shirt, so it's not like he had anything to cushion the blow, and it looks so painful. I wince every time I see it, and I'm like, how did he convince him to let him do that for a fight scene? Like, it's just crazy. Amazing stuff. You got to see this. All right, number 11. Clan of the White Lotus, 1980, also goes by the title Fist of the White Lotus. A lot of people have disagreements between this and Executioners of Shaolin, 1977. I gotta just be honest, I like this movie better. I like the story elements better in Executioners of Shaolin. I do. Okay? But I do love this movie more because the fights are better, and they do carry the same messages, but they do them differently in this movie, and I just prefer the way they did them in this movie. That's just my personal opinion, for anybody curious. Okay, this one, Gordon Liu, Kara Hui, but don't get me wrong, Lo Lei steals the show. Oh, Wang Lung Wei as well. Chow Ho is a swordsman as well. But Lo Lei steals the show. This is his masterstroke performance. He did the same role in Executioners of Shaolin, but this time he's his brother, ironically, whatever. It doesn't matter. The point is this, is he is Pai Mei, which is based off of real life Bak Mei. Okay, but the point is, so this movie has really long fight sequences, so good, amazing. They really go on a long time. Gordon Liu is exerting 1,000% energy, like a serious workout of an athlete, just to get the chance to fight against Priest Pai Mei, White Lotus. And when he does, then White Lotus just destroys him easily, laughably easily. And it's not in a comical way, because the way they film it, Lo Lei blocks, dodges everything Gordon Liu throws at him, just like in the first movie that Chen Quan Tai fights him. But the fact that they make it look like they don't make it look horny, though. They make it look like he really is just that good. And that's because it's based off a Chinese legend. At the fall of that dynasty in real life, Bak Mei had the biggest downfall of the Shaolin monks in history, where thousands of monks were slaughtered. And the Chinese legend was that when they would try to land an attack against Bak Mei, they said it was like hitting air. They couldn't hit him. So they took that and put those elements into these two films, and it looks awesome. Because they're swinging at him full force as hard as they can, trying to punch him, smack him, elbow him, kick him, whatever. And he just effortlessly dodges it. So the choreography is A1. It's just incredible. Great fights in this. And then the Kara Hui's lessons about sexism, and she uses her feminine style of fighting, and she teaches it to Gordon Liu's character, Hong Wei Ting, and he has to do quote unquote feminine things in order to learn her style and stuff. I like it. It's just, I like it. That's just my opinion. Okay, there's great debates about these two movies, which one's better, but I gotta stand my ground and say the fights are better in this movie. It is what it is. The fights are better in this one, so therefore it takes the cake. And there's always scenes I forget about, like there's Gordon Liu fighting the two swordsmen. One of the swordsmen is Xiao Ho, and the sword fight that they have with Gordon Liu, it goes on a long time, and it's so good. Your eyes are glued to the screen. You can't blink. He's dodging everything. He's trying everything to kill these swordsmen, and when he finally does, then obviously Pai Mei comes out and fights him, and then effortlessly just gets rid of him. I mean, it's awesome. Like, he is one of my favorite characters in film history, period, and one of my favorite villains, period. I put him on par with, like, Darth Vader. Like, he's that good of a villain. He's a remarkable actor and villain. Rest in peace, Lo Lei. All right, now we're getting to the top 10 now. I just want to make this clear. Very clear, everybody. Okay, any film I'm about to mention in this top 10, absolutely, at any given time, could be my number one film. I'm being serious. It could be. This was the hardest thing to make for me, was this top 10. So I want to make this clear. Anything I'm about to say of these films, they could be number one. I could change my mind, because that's what I end up doing sometimes. I go, maybe my number 10 movie I'm about to say is actually my number one. That's how hard it is, you guys. Okay? So, number 10, Kid with the Golden Arm, 1979. This has a great arrangement of over-the-top characters, and it also has elements of horror in it. But at the end of the day, it's all about the fighting, okay? Every fight scene just gets better and better and better and crazier and crazier. It has the whole Venom Mob ensemble in here. Every single one of them is in this movie, and they all give a standout, incredible performance, okay? As in physical performance, too. Like, they fight so well that it's like insane, and you don't know who your favorite is, because at one point it's Silver Spear, played by Liu Fang, who has all these insane backflips and all these extra weapons, and this modified spear that can extend when he wants it to, almost like a snake, kind of like a harpoon that retracts, kind of thing. And the fights are so good. And then of course you have the drunken agent Hai To, played by Guak Choi, who is so good, and he's like putting the wine gourd around his enemies while he fights them, just to toy with them. But at the end of the day, that's just choreography that nobody else can do, because he's that good at it, right? And then obviously you have Golden Arm, who is just so good as a villain, and Lo Mang just demolishes people, makes it look easy, but he fights in such a cool way. Like, it's hard to describe. You just have to see it, of course. All these weapons come out, and they're all just great. Wang Lung Wei Iron Robe is an amazing fight. Everything about this movie. And then the final fight, the fights, they're very long, but they're really good at, like, they really fight each other. Like, they really do look like they're trying to kill each other in this fight. It's hard to explain what I mean. They really make a lot of contact. They actually physically do hit each other a lot in this film, and that might sound silly, but what I'm saying is, like compare it to modern day films, you just don't see that. You don't. This movie, like, watch how many times that they're really hitting each other, and it's like, ouch. You know what I mean? When you watch it. And then Sun Chen does his kicking, and then you have a shocking, amazing moment when somehow you don't think anybody can hang with him in this movie as the kicker, and Guak Choi somehow propels his kicking to the maximum efficiency, to the point he's on par with Sun Chen's kicking. And it's like, how did he do that? It's like, did he train just for this movie to do the kicking that Sun Chen can do? Like, it's that amazing. Okay. Number 9, Shaolin Rescuers, 1979. Wow, you guys, this movie absolutely blows me away. This is such a good movie. Okay, they take a real person in history and then make up an entire story around him just because they can, because why not? To be creative. And this has the Venom Mob in it and Jason Pow. And this has Wang Li's opening performance in Shaw Brothers, and he absolutely steals the show in the first half of the movie. He has a fight scene that is so good, I can't even tell you how many times I've rewatched it. Lu Fang and his goons in this movie. This is Lu Fang, debatably his best performance. But anyways, Lu Fang's goons are fighting Wang Li's character, and Wang Li is defending himself with his twin swords, but he's not making any headway, and the goons aren't making any headway on him either. But he's doing backflips effortlessly, just like the rest of the Venom Mob. As far as Chang Chang and Guak Choi at Lu Fang are, because they just do backflips effortlessly. And Wang Li is just as good as they are. He is jumping over sword strikes, shields, and doing cartwheel strikes with his swords and stuff. Just insane things. You have to see it. Words won't do justice. You have to see it to see how good it is. Okay? And then Lu Fang's like, okay, my turn. You guys aren't doing anything. Lu Fang fights him, and he ends up cutting him, but it took a lot of effort to do it. But he's that much of an expert. He's like, look, I'm going to be the one to finish the job. He cuts him, and then he orders his goons to finish the job. But it's like, you have to see it. Like, it's such an amazing fight that it's mind-blowing. Like, words don't work. I feel pathetic even trying to use words. But here's the point. Then all the fun scenes in between. You have Guak Choi and Lo Mang fighting with a bowl as a weapon, like a dish, and Guak Choi doing backflips while holding a stool effortlessly, then rolling a bowl behind his back and catching it with his hand that's near the bottom of his leg by his ankle. Like I said, words don't make this work. You have to see what I'm saying to make it make sense. But like incredible flexibility, choreography stuff like that. And the final fight scene, it's a really long finale, and it's one of the best finales, period. It's hard for me to pick any finale better than this. It's that good. It's that good. All the Venom Mobs are there. They're fighting to the death with Lu Fang's henchmen and stuff. And at one point, I'm going to spoil this little part, doesn't really matter, but Lu Fang steals the show. It's so bad, but I'm going to say, like, I actually am rooting for the villain in this this movie because Lu Fang is that good. It's 4-on-1. One of the good guys died it was 5-on-5. One of the good guys died, and then all of the bad guys died except Lu Fang's character. So Lu Fang against the other 4. Lu Fang has a guandong, okay, which is like, if you don't know, it's a pole arm with a blade at the end of it, okay, against 4 good guys, the enemies of his. They all have weapons, and they're surrounding him. This is one of the craziest things I've ever seen, because while I'm watching this, I'm trying to picture in my head, I'm going, okay, how would I escape this? Like, how would I survive this, is my point. The only thing I could think of if I was in that moment would be to try and pick one enemy and charge them and either shove them out of the way or something, or get momentum to break out of being surrounded by them. Like, that's my mind of thinking. Now, for a fight, that's pretty boring, obviously, but these aren't supposed to be realistic. They're supposed to be better than real fights, and that's what they do. They excel and they exceed at that. So what does Lu Fang do? Something no other human being can do, especially in 1979, pre-CGI, and without wire fu ruining it and all that junk. He takes the guandong, he rotates it around his neck, jumps in the air, does a flip, and then throws it underneath his legs while he's bending his knees in midair, and it basically creates like a helicopter for like a millisecond at a time. And it's like, I'm watching this going, oh my God, like, the reason I wouldn't have thought of that is because I'm doubting how much talent they actually have. And it's like, you have to see that moment to see what I'm talking about. It is such a mind-blowing thing that I know my words are failing to give it the credit it deserves. The whole fight scene at the end is amazing, but that single moment for me really made my jaw hit the floor and made me go, how is this not more people's favorite movie? Like, it's that good. Okay. Number 8. 1978, Shaolin Mantis, also goes by the title Deadly Shaolin Mantis. Okay, this movie, along with two other movies, are in my three-way strong debate tie for best weapons fighting ever in film history, period, hands down. This is one of those movies. Okay, David Chang and Lau Kar-Wing, Lily Lee, Wilson Tong with an incredible performance. This movie, long story short, okay, this is my favorite Lau Kar-Lung movie. This is really good. This is so insane. David Chang gives a legendary performance of a lifetime. This really made me think that all of his movies were going to be on par with this. And it's just like incredible. So he fights really well, and then him and his wife have to fight their way out of this family village, and they each challenge him, both of them, and every fight gets better and better and better. You get one guy with two swords who is doing these psychotic, and I don't mean that as an insult, but a psychotic like somersaulting forward and backward while swinging his two swords around. It looks like, it looks impossible. Like, that's how flexible he is. It looks like it's something impossible to physically be able to do, and that's how talented he is. This is his best fight scene in movie history, that actor. I forget his name right now. I apologize. But legendary stuff. And then the Lily Lee fight's really fun. And then you think, okay, now we've seen it all. No. Wilson Tong comes out and puts everybody to shame, you guys. This spear fight is insanely, like, I can't describe it. I'll just say this. There's very long sequences in this one fight alone that put every other movie to shame, because this means all four actors fighting had to perfect their movements and strikes to make it land the way that it would, to be right, to be epic, to look like they're trying to kill each other, but to make it land and to do all these crazy like omni-movement techniques in one take before transitioning to the next part of the fight in one segment of film. And Wilson Tong, then it's 3-on-1. He has to dodge all these spears at once, and they film it in one take. It's like they really pushed this to the limit, you guys. Wilson Tong is a legend, you guys. This was so good. And then Lau Kar-Wing as the final boss. And he not only is he just such a good fighter anyway, like, you don't need to guess, it's Lau Kar-Wing. But there's something I noticed. In between his strikes, it's not necessary, but it's so cool that he does this. In between his strikes with his pipe weapon, he spins it around his wrist. Now, there's no reason to do that, but it's just a bragging thing. It's, yeah, I can do incredible choreography, but I can also do that on my way to doing the next part of the motion. It's just like Chang Shang does that too, Guak Choi does that too, Lu Feng does that too, in between like strikes and stuff. And so does, like, I've seen Alexander Fusheng do that. He loves to do that when he's got like knives and daggers and stuff. It's something so cool. Like, it's not necessary, but it enhances the fight because it just shows you the talent is just natural to them. It's so good. Anyways, then David Chang goes on, and I'm not spoiling this movie, but then he learns the mantis style. That training is really fun, really unique, really cool. There's real mantises, praying mantises, and he's holding them and he's trying to fight like them. It's really cool. And then he goes back and then he gets to fight them all again, but this time using the mantis style at key moments. And it's just so good. It's beyond words. This movie, I don't know how many times I've seen it. It blows my mind every time. All right. Number 7, 5-Element Ninjas, 1982. Okay, this movie is the second of the 3 movies debatable for best weapon fights in a movie, period, of all time. And if you put a gun to my head, if I have to pick, yes, I am going to pick this 5-Element Ninjas, 1982. Also went by the title Chinese Ninjas and the title Chinese Super Ninjas. This number 1 film of weapons fighting specifically of all time. I would pick this one. That's basically it, folks. That's what this is. Every weapons fight is so good, they're actually perfect. They actually make the word perfect come to fruition. Like, this is what you wish you could do, is the point. they're not just striking each other with every single type of weapon: saw blades, swords, knives, spears, guandongs, twin hooks, like circles, like everything. I said circles. I mean like rings, circles. Everything you can think of. Oh, and clawed shoes. Everything you think of in this movie as a weapon exists, and they make contact with each other in the fights. Long, unedited, one long shot takes, backflips, front flips, crawls, dodges, kills, epic kills, bloody kills. Like, this movie inspired Quentin Tarantino's violence. It inspired Mortal Kombat video games. Like, there's fatalities in this. The best ninja movie of all time is this movie. It has everything in one movie. It's so good. It's actually mind-blowing. And that's why it's hard to make a list like this. At any given time, this could be number one. Seriously. It could be number one. Okay? This has Lo Mang. This has Ricky Chang. Okay? This has Wang Li. And this has Chuko. This has everybody. It's so good. It's hard not to pick this as number one. Okay. Number 6. Drunken Master 2, 1994. Also went under the title Legend of Drunken Master. So, technically, this is a Lau Kar-Leung directed movie as well, but then Jackie Chan took over the directing in it. This is Jackie Chan. Lau Kar-Leung is in it. T. Lung is in it as well. And obviously, this has So Pak, and it has shoot. Yeah, I'm having a brain fart right now. But Jackie Chan's bodyguard as in the final fight. So this movie is the best drunken fighting movie, period. Nothing else can top this one. Kind of like earlier I said, Man, Monkey, Kung Fu, that's the best monkey-style movie you'll ever see, period, hands down. This movie is the best drunken-style fighting movie you'll ever see, hands down. And the great thing, too, is it has Hung Gar in it, too. It's not like Jackie only does drunken style, but that's what you're here for. He makes it fun. He makes it funny. He does unbelievable movements that other human beings cannot do. He makes these drunken manifestations come true and stuff. And because he's such an actor's actor, Jackie Chan knows how to make these faces to really bring up the scene in ways that most people, they just can't do it. They can't. It is what it is. It's not an insult. It's just an appreciation for him and his efforts. It has a really big action sequence where there's 40 armed men with axes against Lau Kar-Leung and Jackie Chan's character in a shop. It's an amazing, sprawling, epic fight scene that goes on and on and on in a good way and stuff. And they end up fighting and using a bamboo as a weapon and stuff. And it's so good. It's insane. And then you think you've seen it all. And then the final fight scene in the warehouse is crazy good. Jackie Chan, at one point, he's holding 2 of the pipes that the enemies are trying to hit him with, and he ends up twisting his way out of those 2 pipes that it's so, like, flexibly, like, I don't know how you could make your body remember how to move the movements correctly. You know what I mean? Like, move your right arm left and your left arm right and your right leg up and your left leg down at the same time. Like, how do you... It's like when I'm describing it doesn't work. But when you see it, you'll be just as mind-blown as I was watching it. And it's insane, right? And then he has the double boss fight at the end. And it's just Ken Lo, that's his name. Finally, I remember. His bodyguard. The guy who does the incredible flexibility, and his kicks are just inhuman. They're just so wickedly crazy. And then Jackie Chan gets set on fire in this movie. And the fight at the end is so mind-blowing. It's debatably the best finale in film history. Like, it's that good and stuff. It's just like, how? Like, it's so good. You have to see this movie. But the drunken fighting style and character that comes out in this steals the show. It's so fun. It's just so cool. And it's you wish your fights would look like this today. Okay, number 5. Like I said, this list is so hard because sometimes this is my favorite movie. All these, dude, it's so hard. Number 5, Masked Avengers, 1981. Holy crap, you guys. Chin Soo-ho, this is my favorite performance with him, but this is most of the Venom Mob, of course. Chang Che directing. Wang Li is in this. Chuko is in this. Standout performance by Chuko. Holy crap. Okay, this is the darkest movie on my list, period. And like this and Magic Blade, they're both very dark. This is the darkest. And I really love the tone on this movie. Chang Cheh's tone in this movie is peak. It's so good, it's insane, right? It's so dark. But so there's a gang that has these tridents they use as weapons, and they're tormenting this town. They're doing horrible, disgusting things. And the few people left on the good side, the good warriors, they're trying to hunt them down and figure it out. So it's like a crime-solving flick, but it's also like there's betrayals and there's like hints that are going nowhere. There's red herrings and stuff. It's so good. It's so well done. Every fight in this is insane. You get Chuko versus Guak Choi when he's got a sword and Guak Choi doesn't have a sword, and he's doing backflips effortlessly and fast somersaults that'll make your mind spin. And then he's like fighting. And then Chin Su Ho has a sword fight against 3 trident-wielding enemies and stuff. It's just like, what? There's a claustrophobic fight in the middle of a kitchen that's really good, too, and stuff. It's just, it has everything. And then at the ending fight is one of the best finales, period. It's dark, it's scary, it's disturbing. There's moments of this movie that remind me of like Eyes Wide Shut, where they show everybody in masks sitting in this area of this castle and stuff. It's like really crazy, bro. This movie is so good. It's beyond belief. If I would have known they had movies like this before, I would have been watching this years ago, dude. It's so good. But in the final fight, I'll just say this. It's hard to describe, obviously, but there's all these traps that go off, and it just really hammers the point of how dark this is and how dangerous this is. And that's what I love about it. They nail that part of it, okay? And then the fighting itself, obviously, that's always my favorite. Chuko, one-handed, balances this spear, throwing it up in the air, making it spin, effortlessly catching it, not having to look at it. He just is that talented. He just knows how to do it. Like, this is his talent. If I was trying to catch a spear with one hand and make it spin and catch it properly every time, I would have to turn my neck to see where it is. He doesn't have to do that. No. He just catches it like 5 times in a row in one take and then does like 5 backflips into the fight scene. Like, it's so crazy. You have to see it, right? Anyways, in the fights, okay, at the end, the fights are already amazing, every fight in this movie. Then at the end, they take it to a new level. Seriously. Chang Cheh's character, he has 3 different weapons he pulls out in the final fight. 3 different weapons you see him fighting with. Everyone's doing backflips and front flips, crazy things, and long contact heavy fighting with like long uncut takes of film. And then if that wasn't crazy enough, why this is also debatably the number 1 for all weapons movies of all time, there's these parts, I can't really describe it, so I'm going to fail again like I always do, but the enemies take the tridents, they take their their friends' tridents on their team, their comrades, they spin the trident, they hurl the trident over across the room to the other of their comrades, they catch it with their trident, then they spin it over, and then they throw it back at them. And it's like, when I describe that, it doesn't make sense. But when you see that, you're going, holy crap, how did they do that? It's one thing to catch a trident with your bare hands. Try catching a trident with the trident and then throwing the trident back to the other trident and catching that trident with the trident again. Like, that's how insane this is. Again, words don't work. You have to see this, and then you'll understand why this is debatably the best film. Okay. Number 4, Rebellious Reign, 1980. Folks, I'm going to tell you right now, there's a lot of times that I say this is my number 1 film. I really do. It's hard. It's so hard to make this list. It really is. It's painstaking. I feel guilty making this list, but it is what it is. I'm committed. I'm going to do it. Okay? But Rebellious Reign, 1980. This is such a good movie. It's mind-blowing that I never saw it for all these years. Nobody talks about this film. It's not a big film. Nobody knows about it. Okay, this film stars Jimmy Lee. I don't know anybody in this cast. I don't know a single person in this cast except Chuko, and it's not a big role, but he is in some epic fighting in this. But Chuko, I already knew him, obviously, from Masked Avengers, Sword State of Royal Blood, 5 Elements Ninjas. Like, he's in a lot of films, Brave Archer 3. But I didn't know but he's the only person I know in this film, Rebellious Reign, 1980. And yet everyone else, Jimmy Lee again, amazing. I didn't even know who he was, the main role. So this film, it's based on a true story. On top of that, it's actually based on a true story. As if this film wasn't already amazing, that enhances it even more. It's based on a real story that actually happened. Okay? So Jimmy Lee's character, okay, he's just an incredible fighter that can do anything. He's one of those I can do anything fighters in movies. He can backflip. He can catch, knives with his bare hands and in the middle of being thrown and stuff. He can just do all that. He can fight with a fan. He can fight with anything, right? And it's just so good. It starts out with a fight scene with these four men are like using each other as weapons, where like they'll stand on each other's shoulders and then throw each other into Jimmy Lee's character and stuff. It's just incredible choreography like that. The opening of this movie is an amazing spectacle. It's a hand-drawn, illustrated like slideshow, but it also has their own theme song. Now, it's in Chinese, so I have no idea what they're saying. And I even tried to look it up on the internet. The internet doesn't even know what they're saying. I can't find it, a translation. But it's such a good song, you guys. And I'm not being biased. This song is good. You can't not like this song. You have to hear it. It's an epic song. Okay. Though, anyways, the fights, okay? Then all these fights build up. These fights are so good. You have one guy that's so flexible. He does I don't know what the word is. If you do a backflip, would you consider that a 360? I'm going to say that's a 360 degree, okay? This guy does like a 540 degree. In other words, he does a backflip so much that he doesn't land on his feet. He does a backflip so far that he would be landing theoretically on his rear, on his bottom, but he kicks the opponent before he lands. He does like a single unassisted barrel kick by doing a backflip first. Like it's impossible what he does. Like it's like, holy crap. But that's how talented he is, the man in white. He's so good. It's like mind-blowing how good he is and how I haven't heard of this guy. I looked it up. This guy is mostly doing stunt coordination. He's not usually a fighter on screen. And that is such a shame because he was so good in this movie. I wanted to binge all of his other work. And I was like amazed that this is like the one people know him for as an actor for. Okay. This has weapons fights. This has ninjas, sabotage. It has betrayals. And like I said, it's based on a true story too. So it makes it even better in that sense. And then what really steals this movie and gives it that debate, that strong, incredible debate, you guys. This movie, you can count if you think I'm wrong. This movie has a outstanding, debatably number one best ever finale. It has a 17-minute action sequence at the end. The finale has 17 minutes of straight carnage, bloodbath, weapons fighting, fist fighting, entourage, assault, sabotage, and so many things happen in one take. One guy gets stabbed through the window, and you're watching from the street level on the street, the camera. He gets stabbed through the window. The blood shoots out at the window. In other words, the actor had to squeeze the blood bag, the squib, to make it squirt or whatever. But the camera keeps moving during the fight to see that guy fight other enemies in one take. And so it's like, they had to be ready for all this stuff to happen at the right time to make this work. And they really make it work. Chuko, like I said, the parts he is in this film a little bit, he's a standout. He does these incredible backflips, weapons fighting, just insane things like spinning a spear around your neck. Like the things that they do is just insane, right? But the point is, this last fight scene, this finale, is 17 minutes, you guys. This might be a kung fu record of longest finale fight scene. It might be 17 minutes, you guys. Do you realize like how long that is, like in movie time? 17 minutes is insane. Okay? And on top of all that, everything else I just said should have sold you that this is not only a must-see and a must-own movie, but it's debatably number one. On top of that, okay, remember, this is a true story. The ending of this movie, no, I'm not going to say it, okay? I'm not going to say the ending. I'm not going to spoil that. But I will simply say this, you guys. If that wasn't enough already to shock you, if you haven't seen this movie's ending also breaks Kung Fu martial arts movie tradition. I'm not going to say how, but it does something different in the ending that other Kung Fu martial arts wuxia films, they don't ever do this at the end of a movie. I'm not going to say what it is, but you got to see it and you'll know what I mean. And you'll go, wow, they're even different in that way. It's like, what? This movie is incredible. This movie was supposed to star Bruce Lee, but they never obviously did because of his tragic young death, rest in peace. And then later, in 1980, obviously, 7 years after he died, they decided we're going to do this instead. But yes, Rebellious Reign, it's really hard not to put this at number 1. It really is. It's that good. Okay, number 3. Police Story, 1985. Jackie Chan. Jackie Chan directed, Jackie Chan in it. Mars, Fung Haran, everybody. It's so, this movie, you guys, it's so insane. It's really hard. It's so hard to make this list. This could be my number 1 at any given day also, obviously. Police Story. If you've not seen Police Story, you guys, seriously, if you haven't, you're nuts. This and Project A are Jackie Chan's best stunts ever in a film, but this one is even better than Project A. This one has everything. Jackie Chan is doing things in this country, in the United States, you couldn't do in film in Hollywood. You can't do the things that involve traffic like they do in Hong Kong. So Jackie Chan pushed that to the limit. He is hanging from a bus with an umbrella, like in middle of real traffic. Like, it's crazy. Then he pulls a gun on the bus stops. The 4 actors, they get thrown off of the bus and they land on the concrete underneath them out of the windows that just broke. And it's in one take, and it's not on a mat or a mattress or a softened blow. No, it's on the frickin' concrete ground, and it looks so painful. And all the glass in this movie normally there's a type of stunt glass used in Hollywood movies. Jackie Chan wanted to look more real, so he used what's called sugar glass, which is harder glass than stunt glass, but it's not as hard as normal window glass, so it hurt the actors. A lot of people got injured in this film. Okay, obviously, then you got shootouts, you got this compound, all these houses getting blown up and destroyed. It's really crazy. And then, let's not even kid ourselves, but the finale is really what steals the show. The soundtrack's amazing too, by the way. But the finale is so good. It's hard to pick a finale. That's why I won't do it. But the finale in this is so good. The finale in this is legendary, you guys. They're at a mall. There's a shopping mall. And it's a chase to get to this briefcase. Jackie is trying to fight them off. And he's also running from the cops at the same time, so he can't ask for their help. And his girlfriend gets there. She gets attacked and hurt. Maggie Chung, and I always feel bad for her. And then the fights, like the actual fighting in themselves, it's amazing use of props in this movie. Jackie Chan's the king of props. You guys know that. He'll use a shopping cart as a weapon. He'll use a bicycle as a weapon. He'll use a motorcycle as a weapon. There's a motorcycle fight in this movie as well. It's like as if it didn't have everything else already in it. It has people getting hit and thrown down stairs in this movie. And then obviously, like, you all know this because this is what everybody knows, of course, is the legendary final moment in this movie. Jackie Chan's greatest stunt. He jumps on this pole 3 stories high in this shopping mall, slides down it, getting electrocuted by 10,000 light bulbs. And then you get to see it 3 times because they had their cameras ready to capture it because they didn't want to miss this. Jackie's a perfectionist. He wanted everything in this movie. He gave this movie his all, and it paid off. He gets hurt so bad. You see the burns, and then in the credits right away, you get to see the parts of the movie that didn't make the final cut, and you get to see the injuries. You get to see him hauled off to the ambulance, to the hospital, and it's beyond words what he did in this movie. It's an epic, incredible feat of film is what it is. Okay, number 2, Dragons Forever, 1988. This film, I don't think anybody agrees with me. I think everybody else in the world would say Police Story is better than Dragons Forever. Listen, I can respect that. What gets me in Dragons Forever, the fights themselves, I think are much better in this movie. That's just my opinion, okay? Now, And obviously, Police Story has the better stunts, insane stunts, way better. But I don't know, Dragons Forever, it's so good. It has everything in it. It has the three dragons. It has Jackie Chan, Yuen Bu, Sammo Hung. It has Benny the Jet Urquidez. It has Billy Chow. It has Dick Wei. It has Philip Ko. It has Yuen Wah. It has everybody in this movie. It's like mind-blowing. Okay? But anyways, the point is this. The movie is perfectly comical. It has so much funny moments in this. It has the best, like, of the comedy of all this list. This is the funniest movie to me. I actually, like, laugh out loud funny. It's really funny, okay? I love that. And the funniness goes on so long that it's like all of a sudden you'll forget until a fight breaks out. You'll be like, oh yeah, these guys aren't just really funny. They're also like the best martial artists in film history. And then you see them pull off an epic fight and it's like, holy crap, I forgot. So the fights are insane. Everybody gets really hurt in this movie. I don't know what they were doing. They were so merciless with the poor stuntmen in this movie. People get thrown off of buildings and they like land on like their back and like on like the metal in the factory and stuff. It's like, it looks so painful. And obviously Jackie Chan versus Benny the Jet Urquidez, the rematch after Wheels on Meals 1984. The rematch in this movie is an epic, amazing moment. Well, both. But for me, the actual standout for me personally in this, and it's funny, nobody agrees with me. Okay, it is what it is. That's fine. I'm just one guy's opinion, but nobody agrees with me. To me, this is Yuen Bu's best performance. Yes, nobody agrees with me, but this to me is absolutely his best performance. The end fight scene, Yuen Bu does the most insane choreography he's ever done that I've ever seen him do, period. He is doing backflips, front flips. There's one part, there's a broken window that's like on a narrow ledge that like no other human being would even attempt to jump. And he does it, and he clears into the room where the window's broken, and he doesn't hit any of the shattered pieces of the window. You got to see this, okay? He's fighting on this tiny little bridge that's like the size of like a bridge that like people that do gymnastics, like the beam that they stand on, that's like the size of this bridge. Yuen Bu's doing backflips on it in the middle of a fight scene, kicking people, and Sammo Hung even has cameras above that. So like they're showing over the head, like isometric shots of it. It's like they put everything into these fights and it really paid off. They're so good. It's mind-blowing. This is Yuen Bu's best ever. I've never seen him like this good. And I'm a Yuen Bu super fan. Him and Billy Chow's fight, it's so good. It's like nobody would normally fight like that because nobody's normally that flexible. So Billy Chow should have just rocked him and it should have been over with, his character, I'm saying. But Yuen Bu, because of the incredible, amazing talent that he put into this movie, he was able to like do these movements that like Billy Chow, his character, would never have expected a normal human being to do in a fight. You know what I mean? No, I don't think anybody knows what I mean because I probably sound like a nutcase. But this is such a good movie. I love it more than probably most people. I gotta admit, I know that. But this is such a good movie. And Sammo Hung had the best of the humor in the movie. He actually made me laugh out loud a few times in this movie. I'm not kidding. I actually laughed out loud at some of Sammo Hung's moments in this movie. He's such a genius. It's so good. Okay. Number one. Man. This is my number one film of all time. Now, of course, when I'm doing a list like this can change. Of course, as I've been saying. But right now, and generally speaking, this is my number one. 1978, Crippled Avengers. Also went by the title Mortal Kombat, spelled with the C like it's supposed to. Not like the video game with the K. No, spelled Mortal Kombat with the C like it's supposed to be spelled. And for some stupid reason, Return of the Five Deadly Venoms, which is so stupid because this is not any relation to that film. It just has the same actors in it. That's all. Anyways, Crippled Avengers, as it's most commonly called. This has the Venom Mob, and then it has Chen Quan Tai's return to Shaw Brothers, and he is the villain. This is my favorite Chen Quan Tai performance. It has Chen Quan Tai, Lu Fang, Wang Lung Wei. This is the ultimate trio of kung fu villains. It's so perfectly set. The reason this is my number one, okay, for a few reasons. For one, every scene in this is perfect. There's no scene I would skip. There's no scene I would fast forward. You just can't. You just ruin it. Every scene matters. Every scene fits just right in this movie, and that's awesome. Okay? And then on top of that, obviously the fights and obviously the training. Okay, that's obvious. But why? Why does this one stick out? Okay, they take the story of they each get crippled by Lu Fang and Chen Quan Tai's characters. Now, I'm skipping a lot of the story. I'm not going to go over all this, so this video will never end. Okay, the movie deserves its own video, but, well, all these do, but you know what I mean. So, all the main good guy characters, the Venom mob that are not Lu Fang, they get crippled in a different way. So, what do? They make training scenes of them learning how to fight despite their physical, handicap that they have going on. Now, freeze for a second. The only thing somebody could say they don't like this movie, well, I'll say two things. One thing, and this is a stupid one, so I don't count this, but I'm going to say it anyway, okay, is somebody that says, oh, I hate violence, so I don't like this movie. Okay, don't be an idiot. You're watching a movie. It's a movie. It's already happened. It's already filmed. So if you hate violence, then you're just stupid. I hate violence too. But I love them in movies and video games because it's not real, because it looks cool, because it's artistic, because it's performance. Okay, so don't be stupid. Anyways, taking that aside. Or somebody will say that the type of handicap that they have, being blind, for example, okay, and having legs cut off and trying to fight after that, yes, I understand you have to have a suspension of disbelief to have them fight at this elite level. I understand that because this is debatably all of these actors' best fight scenes in one film. So yes, I understand that you have to have that suspension of disbelief. Okay, that doesn't bother me. I'm sure out there it bothers somebody because somebody's going to say, oh, but he's blind. How does he fight all those men at one time? Yes, you guys, it's a movie. You're allowed to be creative. You're allowed to do things like this, okay? Anyways, I just had to get that out of the way because there's no flaws in this movie to me. That's my point I'm trying to make. To me, there's no flaws. Every scene fits. Every scene is well done and uses it well and it goes well, and I love it. So, anyways, they all deal with their disabilities. They all get different pieces of training, and Guak Choi's training stands out. He does these incredible things that, like, he's like the only human being on earth that can do these types of things. In one shot, no edits, no filtering, he gets these rings thrown at him. Okay, these rings that are like the size of like a smaller than like a basketball in diameter or whatever. He catches them, does a backflip. Before he lands, he puts his legs through those rings and like lifts them all the way up his legs before he lands on his backflip. And then he does it a second time. It's like, what? How are you possibly that gifted and physically talented enough to do that and coordinated enough to do that and flexible enough to do that and acrobatic enough to do that and everything? It's mind-blowing. But because this was the best time in film history, this was without trick edits and special like CGI bullcrap and stuff. This was done with raw talent. Okay, and so he does that. His training scene gives me the chills every time I see it. He does those things. It's awesome. Him and Shang hold a ring between the two of them, and he's like throwing him with the ring, and they're like throwing each other with the ring and stuff. It's like crazy. It's like insane in a good way. So much fun. Okay, and then the fights itself are just the best. Guak Choi fights with the staff. The staff that he fights with, he uses it with only one hand most of the time. And it really, after watching it all these years, I started going, that is kind of crazy when I keep forgetting that he uses like one hand a lot of the time. It's like, what the, how is he that good with one hand? It's like crazy, right? And Lu Fang does all these backflips, Shang does all these backflips, Guak Choi does all these backflips. the fights are just crazy. Wang Lung Wei uses this weapon that's like a steel mace on a chain, and he's like throwing it around. It's so cool. And then there's another character that is dual wielding, bad guy that has dual wielding blades and stuff, and it's just a fun fight. Him and Guak Choi fight. Chang Chang is just the comic relief of the movie. He's really funny, but his kung fu is insane in this movie. He's like light as a feather. How he can instantly backflip 5 times in 1 second. It's like what? It's like crazy. Shen Quan Tai's ruthless with his tiger style and everything. And then the ending fights, the epic size of them are really good, really fun, and just long takes of mind-blowing moments where you just watch them in shock and awe at you're like, how did he do that? How did he land that motion the way he did? Like, how did he make that work and film it? Like, it's stuff like that just blows my mind. It's the ending fight is really, really epic in this. And I'm going to be honest, the finale in this is not my favorite finale on this list at all. The last fight between certain characters, I won't spoil it, I guess, if you haven't seen it, but the actual end fight is not like the best at all. But the one right before that, the Liu Fang involved one, is incredible because there's so many moments in that fight that no other people could have done. They just couldn't have done it. That's all I'm trying to say. They just couldn't have made these motions work. They couldn't have physically done it. They just don't have that talent. And that's not an insult. These are the best actors in the world. Like, they just couldn't have done it. But because it's combat, because it's fighting, because they're making contact with each other while doing these things, and I lose track of how many times they'll have a long 10-second sequence of unedited film during these fights when there's so many things going on at once. Guak Choi's hitting Liu Fang with the ring, and then Chang Chang jumps through the ring for no reason, just to be a troll during the fight. But it's still, like, how did they do that? Like, how did they land that motion and make it look convincing? Like, how did they do it? It's like so many of those moments that happen in that second last fight that are just mind-blowing and incredible. And then, I know I haven't mentioned him, but don't get me wrong, Lo Mang's performance in this is incredible as well. He pulls off some amazing, brutal fights. His finishing moves are really fun and stuff. It's just really good. This is right now, this is my number one. It's hard to ever put a movie above this. It really is. But this is definitely one of those number ones. Now that I've gone through the list, I want to say thank you, everybody, for listening. Hard to do this, very tough to do. And again, don't get me wrong, there's plenty of other movies I like, okay, that are not on this list. I still like them. Okay, it doesn't mean I don't like them. You got to ask me, though. Maybe I don't. But last thing I just want to say really quick. Some people want to know, because this comes up all the time. Okay, when you dive deep, all right? Are you Golden Harvest, or are you Team Shaw Brothers, or are you Team Independent? Whatever. For me, it comes down to this, right? Okay, when you have independent, you have certain people that didn't do other movies with bigger studios. Like John Liu never did a Shaw Brothers film, and that's like insane to me. John Liu's the best kicker, period. Right? Him, Huang Zhengli. Huang Zhengli did one Shaw Brothers movie, Kid from Kwantung. I have it. I love it. It's not. I don't love the whole film. There's parts of the film I actually think are really bad, but the fights are incredible. Huang Zhengli was incredible. Made me wish he did more Shaw Brothers movies. Right? But like, we're not going to pretend like Don Wang and Tan Tao Liang and John Liu, like, we're not going to pretend like their careers didn't exist. They were doing independent films. Philip Ko shines the most in those Taiwanese films. That's just the case, right? So like Gold Dig and Honest Film Co. like company, like those are incredible stuff. But when it comes to Shaw Brothers versus Golden Harvest, here's my breakdown, right? Okay, Golden Harvest has one major advantage, which is they can film anywhere. Shaw Brothers is in their studios, and sometimes they go outside in Thailand, and then of course, then you get movies like Chinatown Kid, where some of it's in San Francisco, and then of course you get Shaolin Handlock with David Chang, which is in Thailand. Beautiful, beautiful movie, by the way. But anyways, generally speaking, though, you're in the Shaw Brothers sets, which is not a problem with me. Okay, I look at it like this. if you have an island with 120 sound stages and you have an entire crew of women that work hard and build these sets and props and stuff, I think that's cool. I think that's fun. That means, yes, some of the sets are going to look similar and the same sometimes and stuff, but it's cool to see what are you going to do different with them, and they do a great job. So, but Golden Harvest has the advantage of they can do modern day films with guns and stuff. And yes, some Shaw Brothers movies do it, I know, but it's not the same. And you know what I mean, you guys. Don't be stupid. You know, in Golden Harvest movies, you can have airplanes and helicopters and tanks and cars and jeeps and motorcycles, and you get my point. But they can also go back in time too. Obviously, they've done that many times in Golden Harvest. But so what? With that advantage, who do I think is the best? Well, I'm going to be honest. Shaw Brothers is my favorite. You're going to say, why? Despite everything I just said, with all the advantages that Golden Harvest has. And to be fair, my list is mostly Shaw Brothers films. Yes, I admit that. But look at how high ranking a lot of the Golden Harvest movies are. They're still up there. And that's a testament to how great they are. They're not ungreat just because I said Shaw Brothers is better to me. That doesn't mean that Golden Harvest isn't as great. No. They're both neck and neck, you guys. They're great. So what the heck does Shaw Brothers have that I say is better? Two things. One, their films look incredible as far as visually, okay? A movie like Marco Polo, 1975, you guys. I am watching that today in 4K or 1080p even, and it looks like it came out like 5 years ago. Like, how is that looking better than movies that like Rebellious Reign in 1980 and The Incredible Kung Fu Mission 1979. How is a movie from 1975 looking better than those? That's a testament to how well Shaw Brothers protected their products. Seriously, I'm not being sarcastic. Like that's what they did. They were perfectionists, right? And on top of that, but here's really what makes them have what I prefer them over Golden Harvest. Again, it's not a bad thing. It's not like I'm saying Golden Harvest is way down here and Shaw Brothers is like a mountain in comparison. No. I'm not saying that at all. But I'm just saying, but why do I say they're better personally? Because I know people are going to ask. For me, it's this. Even their worst movies, the way they shoot their fight scenes, I think is the greatest. In history of cinema, period. I think it's the greatest because they take very wide lenses. They showed the whole thing happen at once. Lots of takes of long, unedited takes of fighting. And when you have the massive talent that you have, who can memorize all these movements in one fight scene and stuff and do all that and do it at this high caliber level of physical prowess and physicality and stuff, like in one take before the scene transitions to the next take of the fight or whatever, or the quick zoom in on the weapon doing something or whatever. Like, Shaw Brothers has that down better than anybody else. It's just a fact. I know it's probably hard to grasp what I'm saying unless I did word it how it sounds in my head. But they have so many of those moments in Shaw Brothers fight scenes and training scenes where they don't leave anything to the imagination. You see the whole thing happen at once. Okay, and it's the other production companies, they do that too. I'm not saying they don't, but what I'm saying is Shaw Brothers has this consistency, you guys, of doing it more. Okay, does that make sense? They just do it more. Like if I was annoying enough to count, I would do that, and you would be like, okay, yeah, mathematically speaking, Adam Stark is correct. They do that more. Now, that has nothing to do with whether you like their movies or not. I'm simply saying that when I see that, it's what really shocked me the most all these years, looking back at it now, is like when you see modern day fight scenes, what do? They have hundreds of edits. They quick edit, they shaky cam, and it's all this garbage, you guys. But if you didn't know any better, you might think that's cool. If you didn't see a lot of films, you'd be like, oh, that's action? Okay, that's cool. Then when you get into these films, Kung Fu and Wuxia films, and then you go back in time and you finally get to the golden era, which is like 1975 to 1985. You look at like that decade, and you're like, okay, what I thought was good action is nothing compared to that, because what they have is all this stuff, the stuff I just described. And it's like, that's the difference, you guys. That's what Shaw Brothers just happens to have more of that, more of those moments as compared to the other other companies. But does that debate really matter? To me, no. But I know people are going to ask. I love all of them. I have these movies. I own these films. These are incredible stuff. This is stuff that like blew my mind seeing this stuff. Okay, these are films that must have, and there's so many more. Okay, I'm just speaking on ones that like I said, these are my top 30s and my honorable mentions. Okay, but I want to hear your list. I want to hear your opinions. Okay, where am I right? Where am I wrong? What modern day ones do you like? Okay, are you someone who prefers the digital age, the Ip Man movies and stuff? Look, I own the Ip Man movies. I have all of them. I have Master Z. I have them. I have Killzone, SPL, SPL2, Killzone 2, Tony Jaa. Like, I have these movies. I like them too. Don't get me wrong. I like them too. Okay, do you like Ong Bak? Do you like Ong Bak too? Like, do you like these movies? Do you like The Protector? Like, I like these movies too. Okay, these are great stuff. I can still enjoy them. I'm not saying I can't enjoy them, but they just don't compare to that 1975 to 1985 era of films, of majority Shaw Brothers films. They just don't compare. The way they film these fights are better because the talent was there, and it was an era before you could cheat in film and do cheating techniques and stuff in this digital age. And that actually matters. Okay. So that's all I wanted to say. Thank you, everybody, for listening and watching. Now, let me know your opinions, folks. I want to know. I really do. I want to know what you think. What are your favorites? And I want to know if you disagree with me on my favorites. It's okay if we disagree. We can disagree. That's all right. Let's talk about it.